Today you'll be doing IXL I-5 as your assessment, so I'm going to go over a few problems with you. This is still with exponents, which we have been talking about, except our base is going to be either a decimal or a fraction today. So our first example is 3/4 squared, so that means 3/4 times 3/4. So if you'll remember, when we multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across on the top and the bottom. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 4 is 16. There's some of these that could be simplified, but I think on IXL you can enter it without simplifying, and it's still going to count your answer correct. Okay, example 2 is 1/2 cubed. So that is 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. So 1 times 1 times 1 is still 1. 2 times 2 is 4, multiplied by the other 2 that's the denominator, so 4 times 2 is 8. And we get 1/8. Okay, we're going to try 1/4 to the 4th power, so 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And then we've got 4 times 4 here, which is 16. 4 times 4 here, which is 16. But we still need to multiply 16 times 16. You need to make sure you know how to do this multiplication because you will not have a calculator today. So 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 1 is 6, plus that 3 is 9. We put our 0 as a placeholder. 1 times 6 is 6, and 1 times 1 is 1. Now we're going to add those up. 6 and 0 is 6. 9 and 6 is 15. So we're carrying a 1. 1 and 1 is 2. So we get 1 over 256. In example 4, we've got 0.1 cubed. So that's 0.1 times 0.1 times 0.1. Now, you're welcome to multiply all that out, but let's be honest here, we're multiplying by 1 every time, so it's going to be 1. The only thing you have to be cautious with is how many decimal places we're moving over. So when we multiply these, obviously we're getting a 1, but we would have 2 decimal places, 1 in each of those. So that's really 0.01. Then we still got to multiply again by 0.1. So again, we're still multiplying by 1, going to give us a 1. But now we've got these 2 decimal places and this 1. So we're really moving it over 3, which makes our answer 0.001. We have to have 3 decimal places. Example 5, we've got 3/4 to the 4th power, so that's 3/4 times 3/4 times 3/4 times 3/4. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 3 is 9. And then we have 9 times 9, which is 81. Then on the bottom, we have 4 times 4, which is 16, and 4 times 4, which is 16. And if you'll remember, 16 times 16, assuming you're using your scrap paper as you work through your problems today, then that'll save you some multiplying because you'll be able to refer back to previous problems. So 16 times 16 was 256. So you can enter 81 over 256 as your answer. Again, you won't have to worry about simplifying or if it's possible to simplify because it'll take your answer without simplifying. Example 6, we have 0.02 cubed. So 0.02 times 0.02 times 0.02. You should recognize that 2, 4, 6. So your answer is going to have 6 decimal places. So 2 times 2 is going to give you a 4, times the other 2 is going to give you an 8. So like I said, we're going to have the 8, but we can count 2, 4, 6 decimal places. So that means 5 zeros will have to go in front of this 8. So you get 0.000008. So 2, 4, 6 decimal places there. Okay, in example 7, we have 1/2 to the 4th power, so that's a half times a half times a half times a half. So 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is going to give you 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we'll multiply our 4s, giving us 16. So you would get 1/16. In example 8, we've got 2/3 squared. So 2/3 times 2/3. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9. In example 9, we have 0.08 cubed, so 0.08, 0.08, and 0.08. Again, we've got 6 decimal places total. So 8 times 8 is 64. And then we've still got to multiply by an 8. So 64 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 3 is 51. So we're going to get 512. And like I said, we've got to have a total of 6 decimal places. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have a total of 6 decimal places ending in 512. So 0.000512. Okay, I threw this one in. I know it's real simple, but just remember, it doesn't matter if it's a decimal here as the base or if it was a fraction. Anytime you have a power of 0, it will equal 1. Okay, example 11 here, we have 0.87 cubed. So 0.87 times 0.87 times 0.87. Now this one requires quite a bit of work. Okay, so we can see again we're going to have 6 decimal places in total. But we've got to multiply these 87s, and that's not much fun. So 87 times 87. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus that 4 makes 60. 0 to fill in. So then 8 times 7, again, is 56. Carrying a 5 this time. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus that 5 is 69. We're going to add those up. 9, 6, 15, carrying a 1. 6 and 1 is 7. So we have 7,569. And we're going to need to multiply it now by this 87. 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 6 is 42. Plus 6 is 48. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 4 is 39. 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 3 is 52. We're going to fill in with a 0. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 6 is 48. 48 plus 7 is 55. 8 times 5 is 40. Plus 5 is 45. And 8 times 7 is 56. Plus 4 is 60. So 3, 8 and 2 is 10. 9 and 1 is 10. Plus 5 is 15. 5 and 3 is 8. 5 and 6. So we get 6, 5, 8, 5, 0, 3. And again, we're looking for 2, 4, 6 decimal places. So we already have 6 numbers. So the decimal goes right there in front of it. So we get 0.658503. Hopefully for your sake, there's not a whole lot of problems that's got that kind of multiplying on there, but there could be. Okay, and number 12, another one, just an easy one to throw in here. Anytime, doesn't matter if it's fraction, decimal, or a whole number, anything to a power of 1 is the base. So our base here is 7/16. And then our last one is 8.5 squared. So that's 8.5 times 8.5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is 42. 5 times 8 again is 40. 8 times 8 is 64. 64 plus 4 is 68. So we get 5, 2. 8 and 4 is 12, carrying a 1. We've got a total of 2 decimal places here, so we're going to move it over 2 in our answer, and we'll get 72.25. So your assessment today is IXL I-5. If you complete that with a 100 and you have any downtime today, or you come back in later for Encore today, then look at your Power School, see if there's any of your IXL assignments that you need to bring up, and you're welcome to work on those.